in 2025 under the Trump administration. You know, it's a new year, just started, and we got Donald Trump coming into office in about 20 days, and probably about 18 by now, or whenever you see this. Donald Trump will probably already be in office. He still probably will be talking about a lot about immigration. I don't know if that problem will be completely solved by the time you see this, or by the time Donald Trump is in office. I'm not so sure if the price of groceries will ever be affordable or, satisfactory to what the wages are. So I'm not so sure how that part of the promise is going to turn out. But again, I do know that from what people are saying, that 2025 to 2028, 2029, whenever, it's time to get that money, So I'm going to open this part of the show with this video and let folks ponder on this. This is the reality, or just a little comparison video, if you will, on what the money is really like in the U.S. Okay, let's play it.
This is about the net worth of CEOs who delay and deny care for sick Americans. This is also about the net worth of CEOs who tell Americans to eat cereal if they can't afford food for their hungry kids. This is $277 million. This is Elon Musk's personal investment in the 2024 elections. This is what he spent to buy the presidency. This is $1 billion. This is the approximate net worth of Vivek Ramaswamy. Only 800 people in the United States have this much money or more. As a frame of reference, think about how many people you went to high school with. Only 800. And this is $6.3 billion. This is the approximate net worth of Donald Trump. He recently said in an interview that he doesn't think he can bring grocery prices down after running his campaign on a promise to do so. He also blames immigrants who have less than a fraction of a grain of rice each for a lot of the financial troubles facing our country. And this is Elon Musk. He's worth $400 billion. He spent $277 million on the 2024 election cycle, while we have homeless veterans on our streets and hungry kids in our schools. This is what actual wealth disparity looks like in America. Each grain of rice is worth $200,000. And Elon Musk also wants to fire 75% of our federal workforce, which includes a majority of veterans. He wants to fire 75% of these people who have a single grain of rice trying to earn a living and feed their families, because he says that that's inefficient. Musk, Ramaswamy, and certain members of Congress also want to consider cutting social welfare programs to support people with less than a single grain of rice from going into poverty. They want to look at cutting these programs because they believe that that's inefficient. Now that we finished the civics lesson, let's talk biology. Did you know that all human beings, no matter how much money they have, are all mortal? We're all made of flesh and bone, we all have to eat, and we all have to sleep. Each of us has only one life, and I encourage you to do something notable with yours. The American dream has been stolen from you. What happens to a dream deferred? Who's hungry?
Thank you, real estate builder, with that brilliant TikTok. And again, each grain of rice.
This is what wealth inequality in the United States actually looks like. This grain of rice represents $200,000. That's about the median net worth of a citizen in the United States, which means if you took our population and drew a line split down the middle, about half of us have this much or less.
Okay, let's stop right there. Half of us have $200,000 or less? Whew, boy. I can't wait till I get to the half. Let me get half of the half. Let me get half of the half a year. And then I'm gonna take that and flip that 10 times. Okay? I need to get half of a half for the year, because half of the people in the United States have at least 200,000. He had to be talking about just white folks. I'm just saying. I like that. But again, and for y'all that's just listening, let me just get half of the half. Yeah, right. But if y'all just listening, the way he breaks down the big pile of rice that Elon Musk has, it just really like put that shit into perspective. Like, if one grain of rice is $200,000 and half of Americans got that, that's what he said.
Have this much or less. Have this much or less.
Yes.
Half of us have this much or less.
Definitely much on the less. Much on the less there, sir. Real estate bulldog. But I appreciate you. Again, I agree with you. Appreciate you, Toya. I'll say, shout out to Toya Goodman. Toya got the shot. Checking in on the Facebook. Yes, I'll take half of a half. This much or less.
24 elections. This is what he spent to buy the presidency.
Yeah, that's probably net worth before the gross, because that gross is, yeah. But if we only got one grain of rice and he spent that big old pile of rice on just the election, and meanwhile, our boy Elon sitting on something that looked like this.
Musk, Ramaswamy, and certain members of Congress also want to consider cutting social welfare programs to support people with less than a single grain of rice.
It's gonna get interesting. That's all I got to say. I mean, they say in 2025 it's time to get to the money. But when some of the folks got money that looks like this compared to this, which most half of us don't even have this much, and then Donald Trump, the president, is worth this much. But again, Elon Musk, yeah. Again, for the folks that's just listening, y'all can't really see the comparison, but it just imagine within yourself the difference out of being worth $6 billion. Donald Trump is worth just $6 billion and $400 billion. What can possibly be done with $400 billion? Like 200 of the $1 billion, if you take half of Elon Musk's worth, that would solve the hunger. And not only the United States, probably in the world. I've seen a TikTok that said that we already spent the money that can end homelessness in the country and world hunger. No, we can end homelessness and give everybody free school with the money that we sent to the Ukraine. Now, I understand some of that money, was needed. Y'all want to see that video? I got that video too. Since we already talking that politics shit, let's get to it. Let's get to
around $20 billion annually.
Let's get to it. I think a couple of people done made a video of that, but
give me a dollar amount of how much it would cost per year to solve the problem of homelessness in the United States of America.
Estimates suggest it could take around $20 billion annually to address homelessness in the United States. This figure includes housing and supportive services.
Can you give me a dollar amount of how much it would cost per year to solve the issue of hunger all around the United States?
To address hunger in the U.S., it would likely cost around $25 billion annually. This would cover food assistance and support programs.
Can you give me a dollar amount of how much it would cost per year to send every student to college for free in the United States of America?
Providing free college tuition in the U.S. is estimated to cost between $50 billion and $75 billion annually, depending on the specifics of the program.
Can you tell me a specific dollar amount of how much the United States of America sent to the Ukraine ever since the start of the war?
The United States has committed approximately $175 billion in aid to Ukraine since the conflict began in February 2022.
So are you telling me that for the same money that the United States of America sent over to Ukraine, the United States of America could have solved hunger, homelessness, and sent every student in the United States of America to college for free?
Yes, the total amount of aid sent to Ukraine is roughly comparable to the combined estimated costs of addressing hunger, homelessness, and free college tuition.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if I was supposed to give you hope there or just make you a little more depressed. But if they wanted to do something about the problem, they could have solved the problem very, 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 very long time ago. Like, you know, Elon Musk
Can you
could
give
just
me a dollar?
Elon Musk could just, you know, just get taxed and boom, everybody eat. So, but again, like I said before, I'll just be happy with my little grain of rice, you know.
This actually looks like. This grain of rice represents $200,000. That's about the median net worth of a citizen in the United States, which means if you took our population and drew a line split down the middle, about half of us have this much or less.
Half of us. Oh, man, so yeah. But we did come here to talk a little politics. So, again, 2025, it's time to get to it. I just don't know what to expect. The first day of 2025, we supposedly have an attack on our country. But we can't really believe everything that we're hearing from this New Orleans attack.